Have you ever wondered why a small symbol on a handbag can be worth more than a used car? It seems strange. The item itself, whether a watch or a purse, performs a simple function. Yet people will pay thousands of dollars extra for the logo attached to it. This is not an accident. It is a carefully crafted strategy. We are not just buying a product, we are buying a signal. We purchase these logos for reasons that are deeply rooted in our human psychology. This essay will explore three of these powerful forces: the drive for status, the pull of scarcity social proof, and the deep need for identity. We will see how these simple ideas from human behavior turn ordinary objects into symbols of power and belonging. We will look at famous brands like Rolex and Louis Vuitton to see these principles in action. They sell a place in the social order. They sell a story. The price tag on a luxury good doesn't just cover the materials and the labor. It covers the cost of a powerful social tool. Understanding this can change how we view our own choices. It can make us more aware of the invisible forces that guide our hands when we reach for our wallets. We will end with a short scene to illustrate the feeling and a clear question for you to consider. The desire for a logo is not foolish. It is fundamentally human. For centuries, people have used clothing, jewelry, and other possessions to communicate their standing in a community. In the modern world, brand logos have become the new language for this old conversation. They are shortcuts that tell a story about us before we even speak a word. It reveals the psychological mechanics that brands use so effectively. Knowing them gives you the power to choose whether you want to play their game or write a different story for yourself. The choice begins with understanding what is really being sold. Luxury brands are experts in human nature. They know we are social creatures, constantly measuring ourselves against others. They know we desire what is rare and what others admire. And they know we are on a constant search for who we are. They take these deep, often unconscious, human needs and attach them to a physical object with a logo. This transforms a simple purse into a symbol of success, a watch into a badge of achievement. The process is so effective that we often do it without a second thought. But it is worth thinking about. It is worth understanding the psychology they don't always want you to know. Humans are social animals. We have always lived in groups. Our position on that ladder has always been important. A higher rank historically meant better access to resources, safety, opportunities. This ancient drive is still with us today. We are constantly, often unconsciously, signaling and assessing our status and the status of those around us. A luxury item is a very effective and visible way to send a signal. It communicates our rank quickly and without a single word. The logo is a modern-day banner that announces our position in the social landscape. When someone wears a Rolex watch, the message is immediate. The gleaming metal and the famous crown logo send a powerful signal. The signal says, "I am successful, I have resources, I have achieved a certain level of status." This signal is understood across cultures. It helps people navigate social situations by providing instant information. The brain loves these kinds of shortcuts. It allows us to make quick judgments. This is why a visible sign of status, like an expensive watch or a designer bag, can feel so important in social settings like business meetings or first dates. Brands understand this primal need for status signaling perfectly. They design their logos and products to be easily recognizable. The goal is to make the signal as loud and clear as possible. A study published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that some men's testosterone levels rose when they drove a luxury sports car. We are wired to respond to them. The desire to look good and project success can lead people to make very large purchases, even if the functional quality of the item is not much different from a cheaper alternative. The logo socializes the object, turning it from a mere thing into a powerful message. This is why the logo itself becomes the most valuable part of the product. The watch tells time, but the logo tells the world who you are. The bag holds your keys, but its emblem holds your social standing. Brands invest billions in marketing to make sure their logos continue to represent high status. They associate their products with successful people, glamorous lifestyles, and exclusive events. This ensures that when you buy their product, you are also buying a piece of that high-status world. One of the most powerful principles in persuasion is scarcity. When something is rare or hard to get, we want it more. Our minds automatically assume that if something is limited, it must be more valuable. Luxury brands are masters of using this rule. They intentionally limit the production of certain items. They create limited editions. They create special collections that are only available for a short time. They cultivate long waiting lists for their most popular products. This creates a sense of urgency and competition. People worry they will miss out. A feeling known as the fear of missing out, or FOMO. This fear can drive them to buy immediately and pay a higher price. Look at a brand like Louis Vuitton. While some of their bags are widely available, they also release highly sought-after pieces in very limited quantities. These items can sell out in hours. The very act of obtaining one feels like a victory. It makes the owner feel special, like they are part of an exclusive club that others cannot join. The difficulty of acquiring the item becomes part of its appeal. A simple fact from economics shows this works. When supply is artificially restricted while demand remains high, the perceived value and the price skyrocket. People are willing to pay a premium not just for the bag, but for the status that comes with obtaining something so exclusive. The second engine that works with scarcity is social proof. This is the idea that we look to others to guide our own behavior. If many people are doing something, we assume it must be the right thing to do. If many people are doing something, we assume it must be the right thing to do. When we see celebrities, influencers, successful people using a certain brand, it provides powerful social proof. The message is clear. If these admired people have it, then it must be good. The logo becomes a stamp of social approval. This is why brands pay huge sums for celebrity endorsements or place their products in popular movies and TV shows. They are manufacturing social proof on a massive scale. Together, scarcity and social proof create an unstoppable force. Scarcity makes you want the item because it is rare. Social proof makes you want it because everyone else seems to want it. Imagine seeing a famous actress carrying a limited edition handbag. The scarcity of the bag makes it desirable, and the actress's endorsement provides the social proof. This combination is incredibly persuasive. It can make people feel an intense, almost irrational desire for a product. They are no longer just buying a leather bag. They are buying entry into an exclusive world that has been validated by people they admire. Beyond status and exclusivity, luxury brands sell something even more personal: an identity. They craft compelling stories about what their brand represents. A brand might tell a story about adventure, elegance, rebellion, power. When you buy a product from that brand, you are not just acquiring an object. You are buying into that story. You are borrowing a piece of that identity and making it your own. Wearing a designer jacket can feel like stepping into a character. You might feel more confident, more sophisticated, more artistic. The logo serves as a constant reminder of the story you are telling yourself and the world. These stories are powerful because they tap into our fundamental human need to belong and to express who we are. We all want to feel like we are part of a tribe. A brand can act as a modern-day tribe. Owning a product from that brand signals that you share the values and aesthetics of that group. The logo on a t-shirt can say, "I belong to the world of street fashion." The emblem on a briefcase might say, "I belong to the world of corporate power." People will save money for months or even years to purchase an item that helps them feel more connected to their desired identity. The purchase becomes a meaningful chapter in their personal story of self-creation. Research in consumer psychology strongly supports this idea. Studies have shown that people place a much higher value on products that they feel reflect their true self or their ideal self. One simple study asked participants to choose between two identical items, but one was framed with a story that aligned with their personal values. The vast majority chose the item connected to the story, even if it meant paying more. Brands are essentially selling us props for the movie of our own lives. We use these props to feel more like the hero of the story we want to live. This is an incredibly powerful emotional connection. This is why brand loyalty can be so intense. The connection is not just rational, it is emotional. This is because the brand has become intertwined with their sense of self. The brand's story is now their story. This deep, identity-based connection is the holy grail for marketers. It ensures that customers will come back again and again, not just because they like the products, but because the brand helps them feel more like themselves. They are not just customers, they are believers in the story. Imagine a young man named Alex sitting in a coffee shop. He is waiting for a job interview for a position he really wants. He feels nervous. His hands are a little sweaty. He is wearing a nice suit, but he still feels like an imposter. Then he glances down at his wrist. He sees the watch his father gave him for his graduation. It is not the most expensive watch in the world, but it is a well-known, respected brand. The logo is subtle, just a small, clean mark on the dial. Seeing it, he remembers his father telling him, "This is for the man you are becoming." He takes a slow breath. He adjusts the cuff of his shirt so the watch is slightly more visible. Alex smiles, a genuine smile this time.
"Thank you," he replies. "It was a gift."
The small exchange breaks the ice. Suddenly, the room doesn't feel so intimidating. Alex feels a small surge of confidence. The nervousness is still there, but it is now joined by a feeling of competence. He feels a little more like the person he wants to be. Throughout the interview, he catches a glimpse of the watch now and then. Each time, it acts as a small anchor. It reminds him of his potential. The logo did its work. It was not magic. It did not answer the interview questions for him, but it changed his internal state. It gave him a tiny psychological edge. He paid nothing for the watch, but its brand value was working for him. It sent a signal to the interviewer. But more importantly, it sent a signal to himself. It helped him step into the role of a capable professional. Later that day, whether he gets the job or not, he remembers that moment. He remembers the feeling of the interviewer's approving glance and the quiet confidence it gave him. The logo was more than just a brand name. It was a symbol. It was a story. It was a small piece of armor in the social world. In that moment, the high price that someone once paid for that small mark on a piece of metal made perfect sense. While the allure of a logo can be powerful and even useful, it comes with a hidden cost. Chasing status through possessions can be a trap. It can lead people into debt as they stretch their finances to buy an image they cannot truly afford. The temporary pleasure of a new luxury item can quickly fade, leaving behind only the stress of the credit card bill. This cycle can be damaging. People may start to believe that their self-worth is tied to the brands they wear. They chase the next big purchase to fill an emotional void, seeking external validation instead of building internal self-esteem. This constant comparison can be emotionally exhausting. The world of luxury is designed to make you feel like you are always one purchase away from being complete. There is always a new season. There is always a new limited edition. There is always a new must-have item. This can create a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. Instead of enjoying what we have, we are conditioned to desire what we lack. This focus on material goods can take away from more meaningful sources of happiness, such as relationships, experiences, personal growth. We trade authentic connection for the fleeting approval that a logo might bring. There is also a broader social cost to this system. When society places a high value on status symbols, it makes inequality more visible and more painful. The world becomes divided into those who have the right logos and those who do not. This can create feelings of exclusion, envy, and resentment. The logo that makes one person feel included can make another person feel left out. It can create social distance between people who might otherwise find common ground. In this way, the small mark on a watch or a bag can contribute to a more divided and judgmental society. Ultimately, by relying on brands to tell our story, we risk losing our own voice. We let a corporation define what it means to be successful, elegant, or cool. We outsource our identity. The real cost, then, is not just financial. It is the emotional and psychological price of measuring our lives by the labels we can afford. It is the risk of forgetting that our value as human beings has nothing to do with the logos we wear. The most important parts of who we are cannot be bought in a store. Knowing about these powerful psychological forces is the first step toward making more conscious choices. It gives you the power to pause and think before you buy. It allows you to separate the actual product from the story, from the status the brand is trying to sell you. When you feel a strong desire for a high-priced item, you can ask yourself a few simple questions. These questions can help you understand your true motivations and decide if the purchase aligns with your personal values and financial well-being. This is not about judging luxury, but about making sure your choices serve you. First, ask yourself, do I want this item for its quality, for its function, or for the signal it sends to others? Be honest with yourself. There is nothing wrong with wanting to send a signal, but it is important to be aware of it, recognizing that you are buying a feeling. Or a status symbol allows you to evaluate if the price is worth it. Is this feeling of status something you truly value? Or is it a fleeting desire driven by an advertisement you saw? This simple question can bring a lot of clarity to a potential purchase. Second, consider this question. Does this purchase align with my long-term goals and values? Think about what is truly important to you in life. Is it financial freedom? Is it traveling and having new experiences? Is it supporting your family? Now look at the price tag of the luxury item. Will this purchase help you achieve those goals, or will it delay them? Sometimes a well-made classic item can be a good long-term investment. Other times, it is an expensive distraction from what you really want to achieve in your life. Finally, ask yourself, am I buying this to impress others, or to express myself? Expressing yourself means the item genuinely reflects your personal style and story. Impressing others means you are primarily concerned with their reaction. Purchases made to impress others often lead to a hollow feeling, as the validation is temporary. Purchases that genuinely express who you are can bring lasting joy. By thinking through these questions, you move from being a passive consumer to an active architect of your own life. In the end, the power of a logo is very real. It can change how others see you, and perhaps more importantly, how you see yourself. This power is not magic. It is built on the simple and predictable foundations of human psychology. Luxury brands have become masters at harnessing our ancient drives. Status. Our desire for what is rare, our deep need to belong to a tribe, and tell a story about ourselves. They take these powerful, invisible forces and attach them to a physical object, turning a simple watch or turning a simple bag. We have seen how the desire for social rank makes a luxury watch more than a time-telling device. It becomes a badge of success. We have explored how scarcity can make a designer bag a coveted prize. We have explored how social proof amplifies that desire. Buying a brand is often about buying an identity, a story about who we want to be. These forces work together to create an intense desire that can feel deeply personal. But by understanding the mechanics behind the curtain, we can gain a measure of control. We can appreciate craftsmanship without falling for the hype. The choice ultimately is always yours. There is no single right or wrong answer. When you know why you want something, you can make a choice that is right for you. You can decide if the price of the logo is worth the feeling it provides. You can choose to participate in the story the brand is selling, or you can choose to find other, perhaps more authentic ways to express who you are and what you have achieved. The power is in the knowing. So the next time you find yourself drawn to an expensive item with a famous logo, take a moment, recognize the psychological pull at work, acknowledge the story it is trying to tell you. Then ask yourself a final, simple question. Are you buying the thing, or are you buying the story that comes with it? And which one do you really want?